Andy and Dave Daily right here on the Muskegon channel. I'm Andy O'Reilly, Dave Cackley over yonder. I have a new element to the show that we're going to introduce today.
Which is?
Well, after yesterday's rant about Michigan that went on for 25, 30 minutes that you did.
I don't even remember what that was.
I don't
Oh,
either,
yeah, Michigan's the cheating scandal. That's
whatever
not
it was.
fully a
I
cheating
was looking
scandal.
around the room. I was vacuuming. I started dusting. I just took care of some side work, right? I had to think of a way that we could curtail that to a degree. And I thought of deterrence that would help. I can't spray you with a water bottle, which would be nice. I can't take a newspaper and whack you with that, which, that would be helpful. Fly swatters out, sneaker beatings, I can't do. However, you may get the yodeling pickle.
Okay.
So, if by chance you take things too far with one of your middle-aged white man rants that seems to go on.
Okay, why do you got to bring race into it?
I didn't.
Why do you got to bring race in? You just did.
I'm just pointing out the obvious. Okay.
Okay.
You're teetering over the edge of becoming a grumpy old man, and this is funny on purpose to help you avoid the inevitable. Are you ready?
Before you do that,
hang on.
I must say this. This is part. Here's the thing. That is a major story.
Yeah.
Whether it should be or not, and that
major
is
story
debatable.
On ESPN, and Harbaugh was found with
major story. Here's the thing.
No connection.
It's a major story.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm a Michigan State fan. Being diplomatic about this, saying, you know what? I don't know that this is the most egregious thing that's ever happened. It's a major story.
Here's the fun part.
The problem is, here's the problem.
Okay.
You don't care about it.
I do care.
Doesn't mean the listeners or the viewing audience doesn't care about it.
I care.
You
deeply.
don't.
You
don't.
I
That's
do.
why your eyes glaze over.
No, that's not it at all. I care deeply. It matters to me.
It doesn't.
It does.
You don't give a shit.
Really
it's okay.
But here you are taking it all personal and being butthurt when I'm trying to turn it into something funny. So, that's on you. I get it. You got ego. You've got id.
I have ego.
You've got borderline narcissism going on. And that's okay.
No.
Oh, yeah. No. So, in the future, should anything get out of line and you hear this,
what's it sound like?
Now, this was approved by the Broadcasters Hall of Fame.
Mm-hmm.
So,
which is the most nonsensical Hall of Fame that exists. All the Hall of Fames, Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is stupid.
You're starting again.
Broadcasters Hall of Fame.
Again, this is just supposed to be funny, and here you are being analytical.
I can't help but analyze things.
Well, yeah, it's a pain in the ass. So here.
Okay. Great. Oh yeah, that's adorable. It's not the least bit annoying. It's really not.
Well, it's annoying on purpose. Okay, so
anyhow,
here's how it's going to work. If you start, I'm going to show it to you.
Mm-hmm.
If you'd like it to not yodel, you'll know to subdue.
Okay. Again, you just need to have a better attention span.
I have a great
for stuff that you're not interested in. That is actual, because I didn't want to do that story. I don't want to do that story. I think it's I think it's an overblown story.
Right.
But it's one of those stories that people are talking about it. Like we gotta kind of throw it in there.
Right.
There you
people
go.
Are talking about it. Now I went 3 or 4 places yesterday, and nowhere did I find people talking about it.
Okay. Yeah, but again. Just because when you say three or 4 places in your house,
no,
is different.
I went to Burlington Coat Factory.
Okay,
I went to Community Choice Credit Union.
All right,
I went
again. You're downplaying it.
No, I'm just saying.
You see what you're doing?
No,
you're saying I didn't hear anybody talking about it.
Well, I didn't.
It's not important.
No, that's
bring
not
it
it. Not at all.
Okay, and that was a poor impression of you. See, I was doing your impression of me.
I'm just
my impression of you doing an impression of me.
All I'm trying to do is keep you from turning into that get off my lawn guy.
Hey, speaking about getting off my lawn and being, I had a bad parenting moment yesterday.
Oh,
Before
boy.
we get into the news, it was, and ironically, it happened on what would have been my own father's 97th birthday.
Wow.
Yesterday.
See?
Old Lyle,
he's coming through you.
He's looking down.
And
he's looking down.
Guess
going,
what?
What the hell? What?
He's here to help.
Okay.
Right.
Anyway, this is an important story.
It's a very important story. I'm all ears.
So I take Max to the dentist yesterday.
Cavities?
And we'll get to it.
Oh boy.
And he's big. Yeah, he's taller. And I'm kind of joking around with the ladies up front. Yeah. It's like because Max is almost as tall as I am, and he's going to the pediatric dentist. It's like, you're too big. I was like, you're too big to be in here. This looks ridiculous. Right. We got all these 4 and 5 year olds running around, and my 5'9", 130 or my 5'10", 135 pound son is
dragging his knuckles in.
In there to I'm thinking, okay, this is going to be a quick in and out. This is just a checkup, right? All right. I noticed the kid that went in after him, he goes in, he comes out before Max.
Whoa.
Max comes out and he's got this look on his face. It's kind of like, he's kind of like smiling a little bit. And I'm already thinking a couple. It's like, it was 7 cavities. I turned to him and it's like, are you kidding me? I'm like, are you kidding me? I'm like, this is unbelievable. You're 13 years old. You're not 5 years old. How does this happen? Like, I'm angry, but I'm like, okay, then I go in there and the woman is okay. He's got 2 separate appointments set up to do the filling. So you got 3 on one side, 4 on the other, probably a crown thrown in. And this was after, he just had like a root canal the last time. So so this is, and I'm going through all, and I'm getting the crunching the numbers, like, oh Jesus. So I get out and I like casually like, yeah, you're gonna be working for a while to pay like you're gonna be working for free for a while, son. This is and I think I misread him a little bit because we're about to get into the car. And it's like a nervous smile on his face. You know what I'm thinking? He's like, it's like uncomfortable because he knows I'm upset, but I see the look on his face. And as soon as we get into the car, I dropped whatever the record is for a father scream. I don't just mean, I mean, shouting F-bombs at his 13-year-old son. And
Dave.
I mean, I had what I'm having like an out of body experience because still got to take him to get something to eat because we had this on his lunch break.
Yeah.
So and Alexa's like, make sure you get him something to eat because he didn't have anything this morning, and I became unhinged. Like nothing physical. Like obviously I'm not gonna do anything physical, but I was pissed. I was so mad, and I'm in my head. I'm watching myself scream at my son going, dude, you are out of control. Like I am having one of those moments, like as I'm doing this, I know I'm doing and saying the wrong thing. It's like, it was completely the antithesis of the way my dad would have handled it back in the day. Cause he was just all right, kind of stern. Like, this is what we're, going to do. You're going to do this. Instead, no, I ape shit. I hit red. I was into the red. What do you know? You don't want to run the sports car. Yeah. I had buried the needle into the red. Oh my God. And he just, to Max's credit, he just kind of sat there and let me just go. And then, after I got, it's like, all right, look, and I apologize. I said, I overreact. Like, I love you, like, you can't do this. And then I started kind of going at him again because there was like a math grade, like he was getting all A's and then he forgot to turn in a math assignment. It was a big math assignment, so it dropped him from an A to an F temporarily, of course. Yeah. So I lit into him so it's like I refired it up again. and it was one of those parenting, because I have a long fuse, and he knows this. Like, it takes a lot to get me to that point.
Right.
But it was just I thought he wasn't taking it serious. Like, you don't care. This isn't your money. You don't. I was so pissed because because he had the braces. He's got the nice straight teeth now, and we just had invested so much into this. And I just handled it so poorly. I was so pissed at myself. And I even called him up again later in the day to apologize. Look, I just want to make sure everything went well. And it was one of those things, one of those moments where you came up short. You did and said the wrong things. And,
so allow me.
You got to be man up, and I was glad. I apologized, and
allow me.
It was good, and he'll be fine. It's just you got to
allow me, with the wisdom of a grandfather, because that's
go ahead. Okay,
9 grandkids here.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to say that
there are different roles between.
I cast the long view over this parenting thing because I've clearly got the experience.
Yes.
Yeah. First off, never use the F word in front of your kids. Period. Ever. Bad. No,
I'm not
that's
denying
a bad swear, and you just don't use it. Okay, anyway, but that's that. Second of all, does this kid not brush his teeth, or is there some kind of family history of dental issues?
No, there's nothing. No.
Okay,
he wasn't doing it well enough. I chew, but it wasn't the chewing. It wasn't the fact that I even got mad at it. It was the fact that I needed to be stern.
Yeah.
I didn't need to explode.
Right. I get it.
And it was one of those things. He's even told me, he's like, I thought you were going to have a stroke.
Here's the thing.
It was like,
here's the final thought.
And it was.
Now, I too have to go have a filling, which will be later this week. And there's a golden side to this. There is pure gold here.
Okay.
All right. You accompany the boy to the fillings.
Oh, yeah, of course I do.
Okay, that's great.
I assume just leave him there. But
that's admirable. Yeah. I would put you on a pedestal for that. In fact,
it's like,
not only would I put you on a pedestal, on your way out, I would give you a lollipop too.
So no, that's the other thing. I was like, I told him this. I said, if I see one piece of candy in your mouth, I'm yanking it. And that was another F-bomb I threw at him. I'm yanking it out.
However,
because that's part of it.
Let me finish my point.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Do I have to get the pickle out?
Dude, just go.
All right. So, upon said dental visit to get teeth filled, they're going to give him the gas. And it's at that point, the phone that you have, you put that on video. And as the kid gets higher and higher, you start talking to him. And then, guess what? A couple weeks later, you're on with Alfonso Ribeiro.
No, there you go.
You've got a shot at $20,000.
No, Jesus.
All this.
That is actually a great idea.
All this, and who comes to the rescue once again?
Wow. Your ability to shoehorn that shitty ass TV show that you will not shut up about every Monday from the following Sunday.
Just telling you.
That was impressive.
I saved you.
Kudos to you, sir.
I saved the kid, and now it's time for news.
Okay. Let's do it. In an interview with ABC's David Muir on Monday, Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu says there will be no ceasefire in Gaza until hostages are released. The White House has attempted to pressure Israel into a temporary pause on bombing so more aid can be delivered to civilians and others can escape the fighting. Netanyahu did not rule out the possibility of a short-term pause, but said there would be no ceasefire. 10,000 have died in the conflict in the past month. I'm of like two minds here. It's like you understand the humanitarian issue that's at stake here, and there's nothing that can be done. But also, the last time Israel had a pause when they were fighting Hamas, this has obviously happened before. Nothing. I mean, that's the other thing that people have kind of forgotten, that this was a terrorist attack. That was the worst terrorist attack in Israel. The worst, the deadliest since literally going back to the Holocaust. So that type of number. So, they're going to do what they feel they have to do. Now, are they going to go a little too far? Maybe in our eyes, maybe, but this is where we get so sheltered in this. We have no idea what, from either end of the spectrum. We don't know what it's like to be the Palestinians in that. And I'm talking about the civilians. I'm not talking about the horrific leadership. I'm not talking about Hamas.
Right.
I'm talking about the poor civilians who are stuck there. And then you don't know what it's like to be the typical Israeli citizen that deals with this at some level on a daily basis.
Here's the thing. I told you back when I went to the Mayo Clinic that my anesthesiologist was from Iran.
Mm-hmm.
And I would have loved to just talk to her for an hour to find out what life in Iran's really like.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And you mentioned that we don't know what life is like for Israelis or any of that kind of stuff. You know what? There are parts of this entire planet we never hear a thing about. Never. I mean, look at the entire Pacific Rim. And I don't mean Japan and China and all that. I mean up through Singapore and Kuala Lumpur and all these other areas. These, you know why we never hear anything about them? Because they're kicking ass and they're doing 10 times better than we are. And they don't want to show you what those places are like.
It could be. I'm not even...
Yeah.
Anyway, that's going to, we're going to be dealing with this for the foreseeable future. Moving on, prescriptions for the drug ketamine are on the rise. Doctors have begun scaling back opioid prescriptions. The decades-old drug now enjoying a newfound popularity. Ketamine was approved more than 50 years ago as a pre-surgery anesthesia. At lower doses, it can produce psychedelic effects such as out-of-body experiences, which made it a popular club drug back in the 90s. Some medical experts are worrying about that now being overprescribed. Now, there's been some studies that show it can, like there are psychedelics that can provide some relief to those who have psychological issues. You're dealing with stuff. Depression's another one. Yes. At the same time, you do have to be careful with this type of thing because there are no free lunches in nature. There's no quick fixes to anything. This is not, if you have this, like, this is not going to fix your problem. It can help, but like this, a lot of people go like, oh, just give me this drug and that's going to change everything. So, it doesn't happen.
You want a little transparency?
Go ahead.
You know, I've been struggling with depression and even went to the Mayo Clinic looking for some relief because we thought it was that adrenal gland, right? So they carved it out and all this other stuff. Well, it didn't help much. And the depression continues. I don't know if it's a midlife crisis thing. I don't know what the hell's going on, right? So we've tried all these different pills and all this other kind of stuff. And we're at the point right now where ketamine in a clinical setting is on the table.
And that's fair. Yeah.
I'm literally at that point. I went to see a specialist who specializes in the kind of medicine that, psychotropic medicine. My PC, great guy. But he's literally throwing stuff at the wall to see if it helps. He doesn't know what he's doing. So I found a specialist that specializes in all these different medications. And part of the conversation is a clinical ketamine treatment or two. And I'm not against it. I'm going to go to a clinical setting and have people that know what they're doing administer this. And they sit.
This is different from doing it at the bar.
Yeah, it's not like I'm going down to Gippers and or Aftershock, and you know what I mean. Yeah, I know, right? That's not what I'm after. But if you watch enough of this stuff and learn, and I mean really concentrate on it, there's an effect inside the mind that inside your brain where some of these drugs put some synapses back together.
Yeah, it can help.
I'm interested. So
best of luck.
There you have it. Full disclosure.
All right. Finally, major upset in college hoops. Number 4 Michigan State drops its season opener to James Madison at the Breslin Center in overtime, 79-76, despite the 34 points from senior sensation Tyson Walker. MSU loses at home in November to an unranked team for the first time since 1986. MSU takes on Southern Illinois on Thursday before having to play Duke next week. Michigan State fans need to calm down over this. I watched this. I was disgusted by it. They hit 1 out of 23s. They missed a bunch of free throws. James Madison is a good mid-major team who's going to be in the NCAA tournament. It's just one of those. You got a young team. You shit the bed. You weren't ready to play, and now a lot of these kids going to be running until they vomit today, as they should.
Wheels are falling off the cart. That's all I'm saying.
It's
just
over. Started. They're fine. Let's go. We got to roll here through Jeopardy.
2 words for you. $600. In 2015, Illinois mandated that polling places pass out stickers with these 2 words on election day.
Which I will not be doing in 2024. No? It's called I Voted.
Hey, congratulations. That makes 7 days in a row of right answers. Congratulations, Dave Cackley. We'll see you tomorrow.
See ya.
Happy Tuesday, Muskegon. Cooler weather will move back into the region today, along with some clouds, so let's take a look at your forecast, brought to you by Trinity Health. Starting out with your weather headlines, we will turn cloudy and cooler today, so we'll lose the sunshine and the warmer temperatures that we saw on Monday, until rain will also arrive on Wednesday, but after Wednesday, looks like most of the time it will be dry Thursday and beyond. Taking a look at our temperatures for today, we'll probably be sitting up into the upper 40s, maybe the mid 40s further to the north, as a northerly wind will develop, which will keep most of West Michigan on the cooler side. So for your Tuesday, expect cloudy skies. Unfortunately, we won't see much sunshine today, with a high of around 48 degrees, at least in the upper 40s, with a low of 39, with cloudy skies sticking around, but the winds will begin to shift a little bit more to the east. And that wind shift to the east will be ahead of another system that will arrive on Wednesday, bringing widespread rain shower activity to the region, which will also keep us on the cooler side in the mid 40s. Until after that system moves out of the area, we'll begin to see some more sunshine, thankfully, by the time we arrive. By the weekend, we'll see mostly cloudy skies, with warming temperatures to around 50 degrees by next Monday. And that's your Tuesday forecast, brought to you by Trinity Health on the Muskegon Channel, and I'm Cole Woods Weather, and enjoy your day today.